Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt older than the number on your birth certificate? Not just because of the gray hair or the lines on your face, but because of something deeper: tired eyes, dull skin, and a quiet sense that you're slowing down in ways that can't be explained by age alone. Some people in their 50s look like they're nearing 80. Others in their 70s still carry a spark, a quiet energy, a lightness, a glow that makes you pause and wonder, what's their secret? Because the real difference is not the number of candles on the cake. It's something else, something silent yet powerful. It's not age that's wearing you down, it's stress. Not just the loud kind that comes from arguments or deadlines, but the quiet kind, the kind that builds up slowly over the years, the kind that makes you wake up feeling heavy and go to sleep with a mind that won't rest. Science calls it chronic stress. I call it the weight we carry without words. It's the grief you never talked about, the worries about your health, your children, your future, the loneliness that crept in when no one was looking. And the saddest part? Most people think this is just what getting older feels like. That fatigue, forgetfulness, and sadness are all normal after 60. But no, these are signs that your body is asking for help, that your heart is tired, that something inside you needs space to breathe again. Let's take a deeper look at what this kind of stress does to the body and how it quietly speeds up aging from the inside out. We often think aging begins when we see wrinkles in the mirror or when our joints feel stiff in the morning. But the truth is, aging starts much earlier and much deeper. It begins quietly, inside the cells, inside the breath, inside the thoughts we carry but never speak out loud. You see, your body is not just skin and bones. It's a living network of nerves, hormones, immune cells, memories, and emotions, all talking to each other, every moment of every day. And when you've spent years holding on to worries, swallowing your sadness, trying to stay strong for everyone else, your body remembers. That tension you feel in your shoulders? That's not just poor posture. That could be years of bracing against life's losses. The stomach discomfort that never quite goes away? It might not be food. It might be the anxiety you've carried since your partner got sick. The fatigue that hits you in the afternoon? Sometimes it's not about age. It's about your nervous system being constantly on high alert, even when nothing seems wrong. When stress lingers for too long, it begins to change the way your body works. Your adrenal glands produce more cortisol, a hormone that keeps you alert in the short term, but slowly wears down your organs when it's always on. Cortisol weakens your immune system, raises your blood pressure, slows your digestion, and even shrinks parts of your brain related to memory and mood. Over time, this internal storm shows up on the outside. Your skin looks dull, your eyes lose their sparkle, your muscles become weaker, even if you're still moving. You forget names, misplace keys, and then blame it all on just getting old. But age is only part of the picture, because two people can be 70, and one might feel vibrant, alive, mentally sharp, while the other feels like they're fading. The difference isn't just luck, it's what's happening inside. Your biology listens to your emotional life. Your cells respond to your inner world. Every unprocessed emotion, every sleepless night, every hidden fear, they all leave fingerprints inside your body. And if you've never given yourself time to release that stress, to speak those emotions aloud, to rest, not just sleep, but truly rest, then your body starts carrying the burden alone. And that's what ages you. Not the number, not the candles, but the invisible load you were never taught to put down. In the next part, we'll explore what that emotional aging looks like, not just in your body, but in your spirit, and how to tell if it's already begun, even if you feel fine on the outside. Emotional aging doesn't show up like a broken bone. It doesn't come with a diagnosis or a loud alarm. It arrives quietly, in moments that seem small, but speak volumes if you're willing to listen. It begins with a kind of tiredness that sleep doesn't fix. You wake up, And even after 8 hours in bed, you still feel heavy, like your body is moving through water. You start losing interest in the things you used to love. Maybe it's gardening or reading or talking to friends. You don't quite know why, but everything feels muted, like the color has drained out of life and you're just going through the motions. Then comes the forgetfulness. Not just names or keys, but forgetting what made you laugh, forgetting why you walked into a room, and more deeply, forgetting how it felt to be truly excited about something. You may notice your body changing too. Not just wrinkles, but the way your shoulders droop as if they've carried too much for too long. Your face becomes more serious, even when you're not upset. Your eyes seem distant in the mirror, like they're searching for something they've lost. Some days you might feel irritable over little things. A noise, a comment, a memory, and suddenly your patience thins. Not because you're mean, but because your emotional reserves are running low. You've been giving, and somewhere along the way you forgot how to refill your own cup. Even your sleep starts to shift. You lie in bed, your body still, but your mind wide awake, spinning thoughts about the past, fears about the future, and a quiet ache that you can't quite name. And perhaps the most painful sign of all, you start to feel invisible, like the world is moving forward, and you're somehow fading into the background. People stop asking how you are. You stop telling them the truth. And little by little, you begin to shrink, not in size, but in spirit. This is emotional aging. It doesn't happen overnight. It's the slow dimming of your inner light. And unless you notice it, name it, and gently begin to heal it, it will keep stealing your joy, one silent day at a time. But here's the good news. This kind of aging is not permanent. Not if you're willing to come back to yourself, to listen, to feel, and to change the way you care for your soul. We've all seen it. Two people the same age, and yet one looks full of life while the other seems weighed down by the years. You might even notice it among friends, neighbors, or people in your family. One person moves with lightness, remembers details clearly, laughs easily. Another, same birth year, struggles to climb stairs, forgets conversations, and carries a sadness behind their eyes. It's not always genetics. It's not just diet or exercise either, though those matter. What truly makes the difference is how each person has carried their emotional weight. Let me tell you a story. A woman named Lillian, 74 years old. She lost her husband early, raised her children alone, worked long hours, and rarely asked for help. On the outside, she did everything right, but on the inside, she never allowed herself to grieve. Never cried, never paused, and now her body shows it. Tired joints, tight chest, deep lines across her brow. Then there's James, 76. He also lost a partner, but he let himself break down. He talked to friends, took long walks in silence, wrote letters he never sent, and slowly allowed his heart to heal. Today, James still plays music at the local church, still cooks his favorite dishes, still jokes with the neighborhood kids. His hair is gray, yes, but his spirit is very much alive. What makes one age faster than the other is not what happened to them. It's what they did with the pain. Whether they buried it or breathed through it. Emotional suppression, pushing away what hurts, pretending everything is fine, acts like rust on the soul. It eats away slowly until it reaches the surface. But people who allow themselves to feel, to express, to ask for help, they give their bodies space to heal. You see, the body is not just a machine. It listens, it remembers, it reflects back what the heart has been holding. So when you meet someone who seems older than their age, you're often seeing the weight of emotions they never got to put down. And when you meet someone who still sparkles in their 70s, chances are they've made peace with their past and chosen not to carry what doesn't belong to them anymore. That's the real secret to aging slowly. It's not in a cream, it's not in a vitamin. It's in the choice to live lightly, even when life is heavy. You don't need to turn your life upside down to feel younger again. You don't need to chase every new diet, or force yourself into routines that exhaust you. Sometimes healing begins with the simplest habits, the kind that reconnect you with your breath, your body, and your heart. Let me share 3 gentle habits that don't just help you feel better. They help you feel more alive. The first habit, deep, conscious breathing, at least once a day. It sounds too simple, doesn't it? But most of us go entire days breathing in a shallow, rushed way. When you're stressed, your breath gets tight, your body stays in alert mode, your nervous system never gets the signal to rest. Take just 5 minutes a day, in the morning or before bed. Sit somewhere quiet. Place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Let your belly expand. Hold for a moment, then exhale gently through your mouth. Let everything soften. This kind of breathing doesn't just calm your mind. It lowers your blood pressure. It helps regulate hormones. It tells your body, you are safe now. It's like pressing the reset button on the storm that's been raging inside. The second habit, emotional check-ins. Every evening, before you sleep, ask yourself one simple question. What did I feel today? No judgment. No need to fix anything. Just notice. Were you sad, grateful, frustrated? Did something make you laugh? Did something sting? Write it down in a notebook if you like, or just speak it out loud. The goal isn't to solve your emotions, it's to stop pretending they don't exist. Because the moment you acknowledge your feelings, your body begins to release the tension it was holding. You might cry, you might sigh, you might feel lighter without even knowing why. The third habit, create one moment of joy every single day. It doesn't have to be big. It could be standing in the sun for 5 minutes, playing your favorite song from the past, watering your plants, watching birds from your window, or calling someone just to say, I thought of you. The older we get, the more joy becomes something we have to choose, not just stumble into. These little moments, they teach your body that life is still happening, that not everything is behind you, that beauty still exists, in small, ordinary, precious ways. Together, these habits form a kind of inner medicine. They calm your system, they lift the fog, they remind you that your life is still yours, and most importantly, they slow down the aging that no one sees, the kind that begins with a broken heart and ends with a quiet resignation that this is just how it is now. But it doesn't have to be. What if aging isn't something we fight against, but something we soften into? What if the lines on your face are not signs of decay, but symbols of all the love, the grief, the laughter, the strength you've carried for decades? The world tells us to fear aging, to cover it up, to hide it, to make it go away. But maybe the real fear isn't about looking older. Maybe it's the fear of being forgotten, of becoming irrelevant, of fading quietly while the world moves on without us. And that fear, that deep, silent ache, is what ages us more than anything else. Because when you feel invisible, you begin to shrink, not just in body but in spirit. You stop sharing your voice, you stop showing up fully, you stop expecting joy. And slowly, the days blur together into something dull and predictable. But here's what I want to tell you from one soul to another. You are not invisible. You are not finished. You are not too late to return to yourself. There is still music in you, still stories, still mornings that could surprise you, still people who haven't met the best version of you yet. You do not need to earn your worth by being useful. You do not need to apologize for your slower pace, your softer voice, your deeper pauses. You've spent your life giving, and now it's time to remember how to receive. To receive rest, to receive kindness, to receive moments that are just for you, without guilt, without shame. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means loosening your grip on the expectations that were never yours to carry. It means releasing the idea that you must do more, be more, prove more. You are already enough. Let this stage of your life be one of grace, not guilt, of curiosity, not comparison, of inner peace, not constant performance. Because when the spirit is at ease, the body follows, the glow returns, the breath deepens, the eyes regain their light. You don't need to chase youth. You only need to return to presence. And that, more than any cream or treatment or trend, is what truly slows the aging that matters most. You don't need a grand life overhaul. You don't need to move mountains or chase time. Sometimes staying emotionally young comes from the quiet, loving rhythm you create for yourself, every single day. A rhythm that speaks gently to your soul, that grounds you, that tells your body, we are safe here, we are home. Here's what that rhythm might look like. In the morning, begin with intention. Not the news, not your list of aches or tasks, but something that centers you. Maybe it's sitting with your tea in silence, or listening to a soft piece of music that stirs your heart, or simply placing a hand on your chest and whispering, I am still here, and that is enough. That moment before the world pulls at you is where you reclaim your presence. Midday, honor movement. Not exercise for the sake of numbers, but movement that feels like life. Stretch by the window, take a slow walk outside, move your arms to a song from your youth. Let your body feel remembered, because a still body becomes a stuck mind. But a body in motion says, I am alive, I still participate in this world. In the afternoon, nourish yourself, not just with food, though wholesome food matters, but with beauty. A flower in a cup, a kind voice on the phone, a memory that makes you smile. Let your senses wake up, let your spirit feel tended to. And in the evening, release. Not everything has to be resolved, but everything deserves to be felt. Light a candle. Write one sentence about your day. Thank your body for carrying you. Forgive whatever hurt you. Bless the quiet for finding you again. This is your rhythm, not built for perfection, but for peace. When you tend to your emotional self this way, your body begins to respond. The tension eases, the sleep deepens, the sharpness of your thoughts returns, and the light in your eyes, the one that flickered for years, begins to shine again. You are not meant to simply endure your later years. You are meant to live them, not with fear, not with resentment, but with softness, curiosity, and dignity. So let each day be a quiet celebration of who you've been and who you are still becoming. And if you felt forgotten by the world, let this video be your reminder. You are still here, and you still matter. If this message touched you in any way, I invite you to leave a comment below. Share one daily rhythm that brings you peace, or simply say, I'm still here, to remind yourself that you haven't disappeared. And if this video gave you even a moment of comfort, please subscribe to Golden Pathways, because we are building a space where aging is not something to hide, but something to honor. You are not aging alone. We are walking this path together.